If you don't have a goal, you won't achieve your goals. That's not rocket science. But how do you come up with a good goal to have? Or on the other hand, how do you pick a goal if you have a lot of ideas? That's what we're talking about in this video. On this channel, I talk about success, achieving your goals, and personal and professional development. If that's something you're interested in, make sure to subscribe and check out some of my other videos. Okay, so first of all, how do you come up with a good goal to have? A lot of people think it's really difficult to come up with a good goal, and I know I sure did have a hard time coming up with goals when I was younger. I felt like I didn't really have a direction and I didn't really come up with so many good ideas. My problem was that I thought too much about it. I thought I needed to have one major goal that was gonna change my life, and I never came up with one that I could focus on, so I just didn't have one. The easiest way to get over this and get started is to create a bucket list or an impossible list. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about a bucket list, which is basically a list of all the things that you want to do before you die. But an impossible list, on the other hand, is a little more easygoing than that. It's just a list of things you want to achieve, and it can range from really simple stuff to really big stuff, like on the same level that you would have on a bucket list. So start thinking about the small and the large things that you want to have and that you want to do in your life. Do you want to be able to buy your own apartment? Do you want to be able to do 10 push-ups in a row? Do you want to be debt-free? Write everything down. Don't censor yourself, write it down, even if it might seem silly to someone else. If it's something that you want to do or want to try out or want to have, just write it down so that you have it and can look back at it. To make it easier for you, I put together a list of categories that you can use when you start thinking about what goals that you want to have. And the categories are health and exercise, which could be being able to do a handstand, run 10 kilometers in under 1 hour, or exercising regularly for 3 months. It could be creativity, so that could be writing a book, auditioning for The Voice, or maybe you just want to post a little bit more on Instagram, so you make a challenge for yourself to post 30 days in a row. Skills, so develop skills in certain areas. It could be learning Chinese, learning how to sail, learn how an airplane works. It doesn't have to be huge in order to build a new skill. Traveling and adventures. Some examples here could be visiting Japan, try go-karting, and climbing a mountain. Finance, which I believe is an area that a lot of people have goals in already, and that's awesome. Some examples here is you could become debt-free, become a millionaire, or have a goal to save $100 every month. Work goals, because we can't forget about this part of our life, because work is probably a huge part of both yours and my life. And some examples of work goals could be going to a course to learn a new skill that you need for your work. It could be having a presentation in front of your whole team if that is something that scares you. It could be to sell something even if that's not your main job at the moment. There are a lot of different goals that you can have within the work category, because that's just as important as everything else in your life, and it will be really appreciated by your colleagues at work. And then social, which could be getting rid of a bad habit, getting married, and buying a house. It could be both big and small, or any other area that fits into your life. If you're a pro skater, well, then maybe skating could be a category that you can have goals within. So really tailor this to your own life and to what you think about. These are just some examples that could help you in your thought process. As you can see, it can be something huge and it can be something really, really small. And write everything down, and then you have your impossible lists. You can't do it all, especially not at the same time, and maybe not even in a lifetime. But now at least you have a list with all your goals and aspirations about what you want to do in your life. And yeah, maybe you will grow away from some and wonder, why did I ever put that on a list? But then at least you have written it down and can just delete it from there. Make sure to check in on this list and update it as soon as you come up with anything new that you want to do. Having an impossible list can really inspire you, because you just look at all those things and realize like just what you could achieve if you just put your time into it. I mean, seriously, you have all the possibilities in the world to achieve whatever you want as soon as you pick one thing and focus all of your energy into it. But it also helps me realize that being a millionaire, super athlete, traveling all around the world while working full-time and taking care of your plants and cats, that's just not realistic, and that's not something that you can achieve by yourself at the same time. That Instagram life is not real. You have to choose. You can't have it all and do it all at the same time. You only have a certain amount of hours in the day. But if you really put your time, focus and effort into one thing, you can actually achieve that goal, and in quite a short amount of time too. And now to finding the right goal. Well, now when you have a full list of things that you want to do, the fun part begins. As I said, you can't do everything at once, but you can pick a few things and focus on them, and then you will be making real progress within those areas. A good way to categorize and separate your goals a bit is to separate them in categories based on how much time it would take to achieve them. Becoming a millionaire, for example, is the goal that would probably take many years for most people. So that is a goal that you can work towards bit by bit and having it kind of running in the background all the time. But making a huge focus into becoming a millionaire would probably not be the greatest move, because you wouldn't make that much progress in a short amount of time, and then you would be discouraged. There are also other types of goals that would take a lot of more input and effort from you in order to get them started and get them running. It could be something like starting a company, which would take a lot of focus in the beginning to get the company started, and that probably wouldn't mix well with other goals because it would take up a huge amount of your time. But it might be a step in order for you to become a millionaire. Who knows? If a goal for you is to start exercising, you could actually combine that goal with being able to do 10 push-ups and doing a pull-up, because all those three goals work towards the same goal of exercising. In general, I recommend having one major goal for every quarter of the year. That means 4 major goals in the course of a year. This gives you a tight deadline, which is 3 months, but it also gives you enough time to actually be able to complete that goal. This major goal could then be combined with 2 or 3 minor goals that are easier to complete and lower in priority. That way, saving up for your first apartment could become a minor goal if you set that as a habit goal of saving X amount of money each month. That probably doesn't take so much time and effort from you, but it's a long-term goal, so you probably can't make that amount of money in 3 months. So that way you can set it as a minor goal and have it over a longer time period instead. But you need that one major goal that you keep focusing on, and that you actually can achieve that goal in 3 months, because that will give you so much energy from actually completing goal by goal by goal in the year, and then having those minor goals maybe running a bit longer. Because if you have a goal that takes 5 years to complete, that will probably drain your energy quite fast, and you will lose your motivation because you won't be making enough progress. So if you keep working in setting major and minor goals, you will probably have completed 4 major goals in a year and 2 to 6 minor goals in the course of a year. That's just absolutely amazing, especially if you didn't set any goals before. By focusing on 1 to 3 goals at a time, you're much more likely to achieve them. You're making your life better, and you're achieving all your goals step by step. You're making real progress. So how should you actually pick your major goal for the next quarter? It's actually not that difficult. Look through your list and see what sticks out to you. What would change your life in a major way if you were able to complete it? That thing should be your major goal. And it makes it a lot easier to pick if you know that in 3 months I'm gonna be done with this and I can move on to the next thing if I want to. And then the minor goal or minor goals should be something that excites you but aren't at the same difficulty level. And then set your expectations and the balance realistically. If you have a huge major goal, you probably won't have time for a minor goal. But if you have a smaller major goal, maybe you have time for more minor goals. I think working towards goals is one of the most important things I do in my life. I personally feel that this is what makes me develop in life and keeps me away from becoming stagnant. I want to feel good and safe and stable in life, but if I didn't work towards my goals, I probably wouldn't look forward to things in the same way. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And comment down below on what one of your current goals are. And I'll hope I see you next week.